Hey guys, welcome to another dog vlog. And if you're watching this video, it's because your puppy or dog does not love the crate and you're desperate to find some things that you can do to build their confidence in and around the crate. So let's jump into this video right meow. Y'all already know I need my second my second cup of coffee of the day, and then we're gonna jump into it. I'm gonna actually share with you guys 4 activities or games that you can do in and around the crate with your puppers. And these are things that I did with both of these guys to help train them to feel confident and safe and comfortable and at peace when they're in the crate. And then after the 4 activities I share with you, I actually have a bonus tip or thing you can do to really help with anxiety in the crate or if they're stressed. So definitely stay till the end. All right, we're gonna jump in right now because the coffee is done. The first game or activity that you can do, hi Finnegan, yep, you're gonna show us. I'm just gonna open the door and wait. Not even gonna look at it, not gonna acknowledge it. Yes, good job, yeah. The first game or activity you can do is to sit, wait, and allow the dog, and wait for the dog to offer entering the crate on their own without command and without suggesting that they go in or without using a treat or toy to lure them in. And here's why that's important. Dogs learn things in most cases more effectively when they have the opportunity to offer the behavior on their own, in their own doing, and then you reward that. All right, this next crate game is something that may appeal to those who are a little bit more crafty than others, but anybody can do this, and it is giving them tea. I'm just joking. So what I like to do is I like to work dogs' brains. If you watch my videos, you know that I think it is highly valuable to not only physically exercise your dog, but also to mentally exercise by training them and doing brain games. And one brain game you can do is, well, this is a really easy common sense one, but if you have a Kong, if you feed them a raw food diet, you can stuff the Kong with the raw food, freeze it if you want, or even a partial freeze, then give it to them in the crate. Do me a favor, if you're a kibble feeder, totally cool, mad respect, but I am here an advocate, a huge advocate for raw, fresh food feeding. If you don't know what that is, or you wanna learn more, click the link up here. But regardless, I support every pet parent because we're all trying to do our best. So if you're a kibble feeder, here's a pro tip. Take your kibble, put it in their dog bowl, put a little bit of water in it, let the water soak into the kibble for about 5-10 minutes, freeze, and then give it to the dog, because that way the water that's soaked into the kibble will stick to the sides and freeze, and that way it'll make it harder for the dog to get out. I would much prefer you to use something like a raw goat milk or bone broth in this scenario instead of water, just to give them some more fresh food. This is an empty tea box that I finished. I tear off just a little chunk of it, take said treats, put it in said box with the little hole. That hole's probably a little big. I would make it a little bit smaller. And then supervise, don't leave this alone with the dog. Oh, and don't forget, we have a bonus tip coming at the end, okay? Then you just give it to him in the crate, let him smell it, and the goal is for him to try and get the treats out of it. So you see why you always supervise an activity like this, because obviously they could try to eat this or get their nose stuck in it. I mean, I would never let that happen. It's a really thin cardboard, so I'm not worried about it, guys. Don't worry, just don't leave him alone. But see, you see how that took him? I mean, he's a big dog. He could have just demolished that, but it still took him a little bit. And now he's looking around for it. He wants to do it again. You could do that several times a day, just sitting next to the crate. And you notice that I never asked him to go in the crate to play the game. I just waited for him to go in, rewarded, and then I played the game. Eventually, you're gonna get to a point where every time you walk towards the crate, they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Activity or crate game 3 is, okay, Finnegan, can you down? Yes, good boy. Finnegan, can you sit? Yes, good boy. This next activity is just that. Work on basic sit and downs in the crate while they're in there. That way they get used to working on their brain and being confident being in and around the crate. Here's a pro tip. You could also work on touch Yes, good job. Touch. Yes, good job. So if you guys want to know how to do any of those basic obedience commands like touch, sit, or down, I have a videos linked up here and down below. So for this next one, I have 3 bowls. They're just little plastic bowls, but you could use paper cups if you have them. But what I do is I take treats and I hide them. Finn's right behind me watching, so he sees what I'm doing, under the bowls. Don't ask the dog to go in the crate, you just wait for them to go in. He obviously saw me do this, so he's eager to go in, and then he'll go and try to tip the bowls over and get the treats. This was like an easy 2-second setup, and look how long it's taking him to do this. And imagine doing this 3 times a day. This would just be an easy way to, again, work their mind, get them more comfortable with the crate. It's just win-win. And now, for the bonus tip. This is actually a tool that you can use to help if your dog is having a lot of anxiety when you leave. And this tool is conveniently placed right here, and it is the Pet Cube Bites 2. I'm gonna do a little unboxing here with you. This video is not sponsored, but Pet Cube sent this to me for the doggos, so thank you, Pet Cube. This is basically a camera that you can connect to from your phone, from an app, when you're not home to check in on your dogs, and you can actually shoot treats out of it, which I'll show you here in a second. And how this can be helpful with a crate and a crate game is if you have it near the crate, not close enough to where the dog can grab it, but close enough to where the treat can make it in the crate, what you can do is watch them from afar if you're not home. And when the dog is not barking and they're not crying, you can have a treat shoot into their crate to reward them. Now, caveat, some dogs might get startled by it, and so I would recommend easing up to using it with the dog without the crate if they're already nervous in the crate. But eventually what you can do is work your way up to using this as a positive reinforcement tool when you're not home. Now we need to load the treats. What treats do you want to load in, Finn, huh? So I typically prefer the Canine Natural Tripe treats, but I got these ones from my local pet store, Fido and Friends here in Austin off Burnett. Love the store, and I really like these. They're different, and so I'm gonna use these in here. So let's dump these. We have the app. Let's connect. Ooh, she's talking to me. What do you think? Oh, there we are. Hey, hey guys. Yay! So you guys can see, this could be a very effective tool once you get your dog used to the machine, because you know, new noises and smells can be weird for dogs, but once you practice with the Pet Cube a few times, I think most dogs are gonna just love it. And then you could set it up near a crate, and like I said, positively reward them with a treat when you're gone. And if it doesn't freak your dog out, you can actually talk to them through the camera. That may make some dogs nervous, that's fine. Test it out, see if they like it. If it calms them, that's great. And I'll have some more features of this Pet Cube linked down below, but it is their newest model. The link for it will be linked below. Oh guys, and let me do comment of the day. While I pull up comment of the day, are you following on Instagram or Facebook? So on Instagram, it's just at Rachel Fasaro, and on Facebook, you can also search Rachel Fasaro. I do almost every day updates and posts, so if you want to connect with me on a more one-to-one. And the title of this video is Don't Get a Golden Doodle or Labradoodle before watching this video. And because I see so many ending up in rescue groups, especially as they become more popular, I do think it's important to talk about the parts that are hard with regard to taking care of them. But obviously, I am a huge fan of any doodle mix. I could not imagine my life without my dude. He and my dog, Bentley, my Labrador, are probably some of the best damn things that ever happened to me. She said, so glad you did this video. I put up the exact same video on my channel, but took it down due to a lot of negativity, but the message needs to get out there to potential owners. As a groomer, I was heartbroken to see how many owners didn't have the time to look after the coat, so the dogs were uncomfortable, in pain, and full of mats, not to mention bored XOXO. Mrs. Ginger and Dog, I thank you so much for sharing that. I honestly, I got more dislikes on that video than any other video, and I didn't expect it, but what I realized is they mostly came from people who just saw the title and didn't actually watch the video. Because if you watch it, obviously I highly praise doodles, but I will always speak to the truth, and I will always speak to what I believe in. And because I work so heavily in the rescue dog world and a lot of volunteering and fostering, I have seen a massive rise in doodle poodle mixes coming into the rescue, abandoned by their families because a family bought them from a breeder or adopted them when they were cute and fluffy, and they didn't realize how difficult it was to maintain their coat. Not all doodles have difficult coats to maintain, many do, or they didn't realize that they were on the more energetic side, because let's face it, most doodles that I have met personally have moderate to high energy, which is great. I love that about Finn. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys can see that my true intentions are really just to share the ups and the downs of being a pet parent, and more than that, more importantly than that, share with you guys tips on how to make your life easier and your dog's life better. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Goodbye.